A couple of bikers target the wrong veteran at a truck stop. The truck stop was nearly deserted in the late evening, save for a few long-haul truckers refueling and grabbing coffee. The neon sign flickered against the black sky, buzzing in the still night air. Inside, the warm scent of fried food and burnt coffee mixed with diesel fumes from the lot outside. At a corner booth sat an older man, his back straight, his posture disciplined. He was dressed in a faded Marine Corps hoodie, jeans, and worn-out boots. His short-cropped silver hair hinted at a lifetime of experience, and the scars on his hands told stories few could understand. A simple, untouched plate of hash browns sat before him as he sipped his coffee, his gaze flicking occasionally toward the door. That's when trouble walked in. Two men, clad in black leather vests covered in patches from an outlaw motorcycle club, pushed through the truck stop's glass door. Their boots thudded against the tiled floor as they strode in like they owned the place. The taller one, a muscular brute with a tattoo snaking up his neck, sneered at the old man's hoodie. The other, wiry and jittery, smirked as he elbowed his companion. "Check it out, Tank," the wiry one whispered, loud enough to be heard. "Looks like we got ourselves a real war hero." Tank chuckled, sauntering up to the counter and grabbing a plastic-wrapped sandwich without paying. The cashier, a timid young woman, hesitated, but one look from the biker silenced her. Tank turned his attention back to the veteran. "You a real Marine, old man? Or just wearing the hoodie for fun?" The veteran took a slow sip of his coffee, set it down with careful precision, and met Tank's gaze with eyes as cold as steel. "Served 30 years, he said, his voice steady and calm. The wiry biker scoffed. 30 years, huh? That means you're about as useful as a rusty rifle now." He leaned in closer. "But you can't even throw a punch anymore." Tank grinned. "How about you buy our food and we'll let you finish your coffee in peace?" The truck stop went silent. The truckers at their booths stopped chewing. The cashier stepped back. Even the cook in the kitchen peeked out. The old man sighed, as if he had seen this kind of stupidity too many times before. He reached into his hoodie pocket, not for his wallet, but for something else. In one swift motion, he flipped out his Marine Corps Challenge coin and let it clink onto the table. Tank frowned. "What the hell is that?" The veteran leaned back. "Means I served with honor. Means I fought for this country so jackalls like you could run around pretending you're tough." He took another sip of coffee. "And it means I've handled worse than you." The wiry biker snorted. "Oh yeah? Prove it." That was a mistake. The old Marine moved faster than either biker expected. In a blink, he was on his feet, his empty coffee mug smashing into the wiry one's face. The glass shattered, and the man stumbled back, blood pouring from his nose. Tank barely had time to react before the veteran grabbed him by the wrist, twisted it at an unnatural angle, and sent him to his knees. The cashier gasped. The truckers chuckled, a few shaking their heads. Tank groaned, struggling, but the veteran tightened his grip. "Here's the thing, son," he murmured, his voice low and dangerous. "I spent years taking down people who actually knew how to fight. You're just a thug in a vest." The wiry biker, clutching his broken nose, made the mistake of lunging forward. The veteran let go of Tank, sidestepped, and slammed his elbow into the wiry biker's ribs. The man crumpled like a paper bag. Tank scrambled to his feet, rage and humiliation twisting his face. "You're dead, old man," he spat. The veteran simply tilted his head. "Try me." Tank hesitated. He glanced around. Every trucker in the place was watching. Not one of them looked sympathetic. Some even looked entertained. The wiry biker groaned from the floor, spitting blood. "Let's get out of here, man," he wheezed. Tank, seething, backed away. "This ain't over." The veteran just sat back down, picking up his challenge coin and slipping it back into his pocket. "For you, kid," he said. "It really should be." The bikers bolted. The truck stop erupted in low laughter. A trucker raised his coffee cup in a silent toast. The cashier hesitated before stepping forward. Sir? That was amazing." The veteran shrugged, finishing the last sip of his coffee. "Just another Tuesday." With that, he left a few bills on the table, adjusted his hoodie, and walked out into the night. Just an old Marine, still ready for a fight. The veteran stepped outside into the cold night air, the scent of diesel and asphalt filling his lungs. He adjusted his hoodie and made his way toward his truck, parked near the far end of the lot. The truck stop was still quiet, save for the occasional rumble of an idling engine. But something wasn't right. His instincts, honed from decades of service, told him he was being watched. He reached his truck, a heavy-duty Ford F-250, and stopped short. The reflection in the side mirror showed movement in the shadows. He wasn't alone. Should have known they wouldn't take the lesson, he muttered under his breath. A faint scuff on the pavement behind him confirmed it. The bikers were back. "Hope you enjoyed your little show in there," came Tank's voice from the darkness. "'Cause out here, no one's gonna save your old ass." The veteran didn't turn around. Instead, he slowly reached into his pocket, pulling out a small keychain with a single, well-worn dog tag. "You boys really want to do this?" he asked, voice calm. The wiry biker stepped into the dim light, still holding his broken nose, his other hand gripping a switchblade. "You embarrassed us," he spat. "That was a mistake." Tank appeared beside him, cracking his knuckles. "We run these highways, old man. Not you. And out here, respect is everything." The veteran sighed. "That why you two feel the need to jump one man in the dark?" Tank growled. "Enough talk." The wiry biker lunged first, blade flashing in the dim light. But he was too slow. The veteran pivoted, dodging the knife with a quick sidestep. His arm shot out like a coiled viper, grabbing the biker's wrist and twisting it hard. The switchblade clattered to the pavement as the biker let out a strangled cry. A second later, the veteran drove his knee into the man's gut, dropping him instantly. Tank charged next, swinging wildly. The veteran ducked, avoiding the punch with ease. He stepped in close, grabbed Tank by the collar, and used his own momentum against him, flipping the massive biker over his shoulder and slamming him onto the asphalt. Tank groaned, winded and stunned. The veteran crouched down next to him, his voice low and cold. "You boys picked the wrong damn man tonight." The wiry biker scrambled back, gasping for air. "You don't know who we ride with," he spat. "You're dead, old man. The club ain't gonna let this go." The veteran picked up the switchblade from the ground, flipping it closed with one practiced motion. "That's so?" he asked. "What club are we talking about?" Tank hesitated, his bravado cracking just a little. "The Black Vultures," he muttered. The veteran smirked. "Black Vultures, huh? Thought so." The bikers looked confused. "See, I know all about your crew," the veteran continued, standing up and slipping the knife into his pocket. "Your so-called President, Dutch? He used to run guns before he got locked up. Your enforcer, Ridge? He did time in Leavenworth." Tank's eyes widened. "How the hell do you know that?" The veteran leaned in. "Because I put Ridge in Leavenworth." Silence. The bikers froze, realization dawning on them. The wiry one stammered. You're a cop?" The veteran chuckled. "Worse." He reached into his hoodie pocket again, pulling out a second coin. One that gleamed under the dim truck stop lights. An old Special Forces challenge coin. "I wasn't just a Marine," he said. "I worked Black Ops. Counterterrorism. Took down criminals way nastier than your little gang." He slipped the coin back into his pocket. "And I promise you, your club doesn't scare me." The bikers paled. "You tell your boys," the veteran continued, his voice a low growl. "If they're stupid enough to come after me, they better be ready. Because I don't start fights." He stepped forward, looking Tank dead in the eye. "But I damn sure finish them." Tank swallowed hard. The wiry biker scrambled to his feet, yanking on Tank's arm. "Come on, man, let's get out of here." The two thugs backed away before turning and running toward their bikes. Engines roared to life, and within seconds, they peeled out of the truck stop lot, vanishing into the night. The veteran watched them go. Then, with a sigh, he opened his truck door and climbed in. Before driving off, he took one last look at the switchblade in his hand. With a smirk, he tossed it onto the passenger seat. "Guess I got a souvenir." And with that, he fired up the engine and drove into the night, leaving nothing but a lesson the bikers would never forget. The veteran's Ford rumbled down the highway, the distant glow of the truck stop fading in his rearview mirror. He had been on the road long enough to know trouble rarely ended with just a single scuffle. And sure enough, 10 minutes later, headlights appeared in the mirror. 4 of them. He exhaled slowly. "Here we go." The motorcycles closed in fast, their engines roaring like hungry wolves. His eyes flicked to the side mirrors. He recognized the riders. Tank and the wiry biker had returned, and they had brought 2 more from their club. The veteran's hands tightened on the wheel. They just don't learn. One of the bikes pulled up alongside him. The rider, a hulking brute with a skull mask and a sawed-off shotgun strapped to his back, smacked the side of the truck with his fist. Another biker, covered in gang tattoos, pulled up on the other side, flashing a switchblade. The veteran's jaw clenched. They weren't here to scare him. They were here to end him. Tank rode up beside the leader, pointing at the veteran's truck. He could see Tank's mouth moving. The order was clear. Take him off the road. The veteran sighed. Big mistake. With a calm, calculated motion, he reached down and flicked off his headlights. Darkness swallowed the highway. The bikers hesitated, thrown off by the sudden disappearance of their target's taillights. In that instant, the veteran slammed on the brakes. The two bikers directly behind him had no time to react. Bang! The first rider hit the back of the truck at full speed, his bike flipping end over end as he was sent flying onto the asphalt. The second barely had time to swerve before losing control, his tires screeching as his bike skidded sideways, sending him tumbling into a ditch. The veteran hit the gas again. Only two left now, Tank and the wiry one. They flanked him once more, this time keeping their distance. The leader, the one with the shotgun, reached back and pulled the weapon free. He aimed it straight at the veteran's driver's side window. The veteran smirked. Wrong move. He jerked the wheel hard to the right. The truck's massive tires clipped the leader's bike, sending him careening off the road. The shotgun went off, but the shot missed wildly, exploding into the night. Only one left now. Tank. The last remaining biker, wild with rage, gunned his engine, pulling up beside the truck. He reached into his vest, yanking out a pistol. The veteran didn't wait. With lightning reflexes, he grabbed the switchblade he'd taken earlier and flung it through the open passenger window. It buried itself deep in Tank's arm. Tank screamed, dropping the gun. His bike wobbled as he clutched his wounded arm, losing control. The veteran gave him one last look before jerking the wheel again. The side of the truck slammed into the bike, sending Tank spinning off the road. His body hit the pavement and rolled until he finally lay still, groaning in pain. Silence. The veteran slowed down, checking his mirrors. The highway was littered with wrecked bikes and beaten men. None of them were dead, but they weren't getting up any time soon. He exhaled, running a hand through his short-cropped hair. Idiots. He reached for his phone and dialed a number he hadn't called in a while. A gruff voice answered. Yeah, this is Bishop, the veteran said, using his old call sign. Got a situation on I-40. A few black vultures learned a hard lesson. You might want to send a cleanup crew before the cops get involved. A pause. Then, a chuckle. Still teaching dumbass lessons, huh? The veteran smirked. Some people never learn. The voice on the other end sighed. All right, we'll handle it. You just keep moving. Bishop, the veteran, hung up, started the truck, and pulled back onto the highway. The road stretched ahead, endless and quiet, as if nothing had happened. But Tank and his crew? They'd never forget the night they messed with the wrong veteran. And if they were smart, they'd never make that mistake again.